welcome to our White Towel panel videos. Paul Chapman joined with Ed Willis here. Ed, here we go again. I think for the third or fourth year in a row, the Canucks are kind of at the same spot, hovering around 500, handful of points out of a playoff game, but the natives seem to be a little bit restless at Rogers Arena. Fans really not happy. The team's lost 3 in a row. Questions now being called into the front office and at the coach. What is this team right now, and where are they going?
Yeah, well, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, if you took this stretch of games in isolation, you'd probably be more inclined to think, well, this is just kind of the ebbs and flows of the season. They have good points, they have bad points, but they're two games over 500 right now, which is actually probably about where people thought they would be. But this has to be viewed through the lens of the last 4 seasons, and fans' patience is just worn to a vanishing points here. So that's what they're fighting with. They're fighting with kind of this slump right now, but they're also fighting with this perception they've created over the last 4 seasons.
So yeah, if you were to look at where the team is at the moment, the fact that they went out and made the trade for Miller, that they signed Ben and Tyler Myers spent a lot of money there. They were supposed to have more depth, supposed to be able to compete with injuries. They're bringing in Quinn Hughes for the whole. Why are they where they are? Why? What is disconnected that this team has not made more progress?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I mean, I would look at it, and I still think probably the biggest problem is the young players who are their best players for the most part, except for JT Miller, are maybe just a little too young to lead this team out of the wilderness right now, and probably it'd be more realistic to start thinking in terms of next season or 2 seasons down the road when they're grown men, when they have a little experience, their games are maybe a little more well-rounded. I think that's fair, but again, I come back to this point. Fans have been waiting for some reason to be hopeful, for some reason to, think this is, the worst of it's over and there's the light at the end of the tunnel. And, the progress has been so marginal. It's really hard to make that claim. And again, that's why this last 3.5 months of the season, I'm not sure if this regime can afford another dumpster fire of a season. If they're still hanging around in the middle of March, yeah, that's fine. I think most people would accept that. But if we're talking another 12th, 13th place in the conference, things like that, I don't think that'll go well for anybody.
All right. Thanks, everyone. You can subscribe to our White Towel podcast through Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating there. We're going to be bringing you some giveaways in the new year, tickets, posters, maybe some fancy uniforms as well. Thanks for watching, everyone.